Hi, welcome to lesson 14 of Excel. My name is Sophie and I'm going to be your coach, trainer, mentor for this session. So in the previous session, what we learned was about the cut, copy and paste. Now, which is in the home tab of the clipboard group. Now, however, I've yet to cover Format Painter. I will do that after we have gone through the font group. Okay? Alright, so now, today what we're going to learn is more of the font group. So, the first thing that we need to know in the font group is the word font type. So by default, most of the Excel software for 2010 is of a Calibri font type. Now, however, let's say if I would like to change the font type from A3 all the way to E3 to a different font type, okay, I'm able to do so. So the first thing I need to do is to highlight A3, drag all the way to E3. So you notice there's a white plus, right? Means I've selected this entire area. Once I've highlighted this, okay, I go to the drop-down list menu of this, Calibri, alright, and then I scroll down to find any font type that I would like to have. So, for instance, let's say if I would like to change it to... I am quite fussy about this, okay. Now, Chiller. So, when I click on Chiller, click on it, ta-da! You notice that the font type changes. So this is what it means by font type. Now, let's try another one. So let's say I would like to change the font type from A4 to D4. First things first, I highlight A4, drag to D4. Now, once I highlighted it properly, where do I go? Font type, the drop down list. Once I go to the drop down list, choose whichever one that I want. Okay, I can scroll all the way down. Okay, let's say if I choose curls. Where are you, curls? Curls. Okay, found it. So click on it and then you notice, ta-da, it changes to a nice one. So this is what it means by changing the font type. Pretty simple, huh? But of course you can make it the rest. Okay, but for training purposes, I'll just take it as it is. Alright, now the next thing that I would like to go through when I point to it, okay, on my cursor, there's this word which is called font size. Now by default, if I don't change it, the font size will always be 11. Now, however, let's say if I would like to make A3 to E3 for the font size to be bigger. So what do? Highlight A3 all the way to E3. Now, once this is done, where do I go? Font size. Now, let's say if I would like to change it to 13. Now, I've always liked to type in because suppose when I go to the drop-down list, I'm limited to only the even numbers. So let's say if I would like to change this to 13, highlight this, just type in 13. Alright. And then, okay, maybe 15, sorry, 15 would be better. And then press enter. So do you notice that it is significantly bigger? So likewise, let's do the same thing for A4 to D4. So I highlight A4, drag to D4. So once this is done, where do I go? Font size, right? Click on it once, type in 15, 15. Okay, now let's try 13 for that one, sorry. Once that's done, press enter. So you notice it becomes significantly bigger. Alright, so for what have we learned? Font type and font size. Great. Now let's understand what is B then. Bold. Yes, of course. So what is bold? Bold is to make it thicker, to make it bigger in every sense of the word when it comes to the words. So let's say if I would like to make A3 to E3 bolder. So I highlight A3 to E3 first, then click on B. So when I click on B, notice that the words becomes bolder. Okay, likewise, if let's say I would like to make A4 to D4 bolder, what do? Highlight A4 to D4, then click on B. So do you notice it becomes bolder? Alright, now, but I have a question. How do I know that it's bolder? Alright, because here you notice that it's already in orange, provided my cursor is at the right cell. If it's not, then it's not. Okay, now, so do you notice here? There's no B there. Now, but let's say if I on the next one, I. What is I? I means italic. Yes, correct. So, what is italic? So, italic is basically making the word slanted. Okay? Now, so let's say if I would like to make A3 to E3 slanted. So, click and drag A3 to E3. Once it's done, where do I go? Click on I. So, once I click on I, you notice that it's slanted. So, that's what it means by font type. Sorry, that's what it means by italic. Okay? Now, next one, A4 to D4. Let's say I would like to italize A4 to D4. What must I do first? Highlight A4 to D4. Once that's done, click on I. So you notice that it is slanted. Okay, now next one, U. What is U? U means underline. Alright, now let's say if I would like to underline A3 to E3, what do? Click and drag A3 to E3, click on U. So do you notice there's a line there below? So likewise, A4 to D4, what must I do? Highlight A4 to D4. Once that's done, click on U. Alright, so that's what it means by bold, italic, underline, font type, and font size. Okay? Alright, now next we're going to move on to the next one here. Okay, this is what we call borders. Alright, now there are many different types of borders. Now let me click the drop down list. So you notice bottom border, top border, all borders, all you must border. Huh? Alright, now but let's say if you like to apply, the most important thing that you must know is the double bottom border or bottom double border, which is the same thing. Now basically it's having two lines below, so they show you the preview at this part here. Okay, now let's say if I would like to apply bottom double border from B7 to D7, what do I have to do? Click and drag B7 to D7. Once that's done, drop down list, where do I go? Bottom double border. Click on it, ta-da! The two lines are below there. Okay, so far this is border, bold, italic, underline. Okay, now next one here, the one with the pale. Now this is also called fill color. Now what is the pale mainly used for? Alright, it's mainly used for background color. So for example, if let's say I would like to change the background color of A3 to E3 to a different color, so click and drag A3 to E3. Now where do I go? To the drop down list. So when I go to the drop down list, choose any color that I want. So let's say if I would like to change it to blue, click on blue, and the background color has changed. Okay, now likewise, let's say if I would like to change A4 to D4 to a different background color. So click and drag, highlight it. Where do I go? Drop down list, choose any color that I want. Okay, so notice it's only the background, not the font color. Okay, so pale is for background color. Get it? Alright, last but not least, A underlined in red. What is that? That is what we call font color. So notice in general all the fonts are in black. But let's say if I would like to change A3 to E3 to a different color, how do I go about it? So first step, I highlight A3 to E3. Now once I highlight, I go to the drop down list. Okay, A underlined in red. Choose any color that I want. Okay, so once I click on it, it changed to a different color. Okay, now A4 to D4. So let's say I want to change to a different color. Highlight A4 to D4. Font color drop down list. Choose any color that I want. So click on it. And now, do you notice the beauty of this? So that's what it means by font group. Okay, so I hope you learned a lot. So what have you learned in the font group so far? Font type, font size, bold, italic, underline, borders, shading or pale, font color. Alright, this background color by the way. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching.